Calling Mathers Bridge.
This is Mathers, go ahead.
Just requesting an open.
Yeah, Roger.
What's one of the best hidden landmarks on the entire Florida Space Coast? It's here right behind me, Mathers Bridge. It's well hidden because there's not one sign in this entire area that points to Mathers Bridge. You have to know it's here to find it. Today we're going to experience Mathers Bridge by land and by sea, and we're going to start to scratch the surface of the history of this bridge. Spanning 800 feet across the Banana River from Indian Harbour Beach to the southern tip of Merritt Island, Mathers Bridge is a lifeline for the residents of Merritt Island, saving them from what would otherwise be a lengthy drive north up Tropical Trail to find the nearest grocery stores, pharmacies, and other necessities. It's also the gateway to the Indian River for the many boats that are moored to the Banana River and the canals of Satellite Beach and Indian Harbour Beach. The lowermost support beams of the bridge are only about 7 feet above the water, depending upon the tide, so for many boats, it's impassable until opened by the on-site bridge operator. Of course, there are vessels that can fit right under it. Mathers is a so-called swing bridge, which means that the central section of the bridge actually rotates so it's perpendicular to the roadway, creating easily navigable channels on either side of the bridge for boat travel. The bridge we know and love today is actually the third generation of a bridge that was built in 1927 by John Mathers, an early settler in this area who is shown here on his bridge after a good day of fishing. Constructed mostly of cypress wood, it was a godsend for people that lived and worked in southern Merritt Island. After 25 years of use, the all-important movable section of the original bridge was replaced in 1952 with this steel bridge span that was, believe it or not, originally used to connect Amelia Island to the mainland, crossing Kingsley Creek. But after years of exposure to salt sea air, hurricanes, and constant usage, that metal bridge span fell into disrepair and was replaced in 2006 with the wider and more substantial steel bridge that you see today, including the addition of a sidewalk for pedestrians. There's quite a bit of engineering required to turn a 200-foot-long metal structure weighing over 60 tons. Here's a little-seen glimpse of the mechanism underneath the bridge that actually does the turning. In the very center of the swing bridge is a metal housing containing a single huge brass ball bearing sitting in a pool of oil. And around that ball bearing, metal rollers move on a track to help balance the weight of the bridge when it's turning. When the bridge is swung closed, all of the weight of the bridge is supported on the metal pads on this concrete pier that you can see. So the extra weight from the cars and the trucks on the bridge is not borne by the central ball bearing and the metal rollers we just saw. This is a bit of a unique view of the bridge closing because you can't actually see this with the human eye. They don't allow pedestrians on the swing span when it's moving. This was taken from an unattended camera sitting on the swing bridge during an opening and closing cycle. Mathers Bridge is very much a nexus for visitors and travelers of all sorts. Every day you'll see boaters, motorists, pedestrians, bikers, and it's also a haven and social gathering place for locals that like to fish, with enough people in close proximity that Brevard County reminds us social distancing is being enforced. John Mathers could not have imagined the volume of automobile and boat traffic that would someday pass by the bridge of his namesake. On weekends, hundreds of boats and thousands of cars pass over, under, or through Mathers Bridge. The bridge operator, housed in the Meadow Line control tower on the far side of the bridge, throws the switch and swings the bridge open, then throws the switch the other way and swings the bridge closed every few minutes, while visually monitoring the waiting lines of cars and boats to decide which mode of transportation will get the nod for passage at any given time. Of course, with so much traffic and so many openings and closings, there's usually somebody waiting for the bridge to swing their way. For cars, the waiting experience is something like this. Cars are stopped behind two sets of barrier gates which ensure that no inattentive motorist ends up going off the bridge into the Banana River. For boats, the experience is something like this. You'll often see boats drifting or slowly circling in the river waiting their turn, and many boats radio the tower to find out what's in the mind of the bridge operator.
Mathers Bridge on Channel 9.
Mathers, go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. We're going to be a northbound T-top coming up to you from the south coast.
Yeah, I just closed. Let me get your traffic clear and I'll get you through.
10-4, sir. Appreciate your help.
Whoever happens to be waiting, they know their wait is nearly over when they hear the deafening foghorn that announces to all that the bridge is about to change position and let them through. And when boaters see the bridge opening, they come streaming through lest they wait another 15 minutes for the bridge to open again. If you visit Mathers Bridge by whatever mode of transportation, you'll immediately see why it's such a popular landmark. Its panoramic views of the Banana River are second to none, and Mathers Bridge is buzzing with activity, including the unique motion of the bridge itself. We've taken a quick look at Mathers Bridge today, but there's over 100 years of history that led up to today. In part 2 of this video series on Mathers Bridge, with the help of some rare old photos, we'll recount the life of John Mathers and his family and see how he came to have a bridge named after himself. Don't forget to subscribe to the Satellite Beach Live YouTube channel for a new and different perspective on what's happening in Satellite Beach and the surrounding areas of the Space Coast.